In this episode of The Hunt for Bagga.
Thought I was dead? Nah.
I'll be picking them with my steel.
After I uploaded the last video, I asked you guys, what should we call this new green painted Bagga? And I think the best names you guys have come up with is Bagga Jr. or Bagga the Green. Someone on TikTok actually made a reference to this Bagga coming back in the same way that Gandalf came back as Gandalf the White. He's Bagga the Green now. Let me know in the comments of this video, lads. What do you think we should call this Bagga? I'm hot on Gorgoroth the Balrog's trail. You definitely don't need to be an Aragorn level tracker in order to follow this lad's trail. It's incredibly obvious. He then begins to chase us through the cave. And while we're doing this rather tedious chase mission, I actually looked up this Balrog. It turns out that after Morgoth was defeated, it was actually Karnan, the forest spirit that I'm currently riding on top of, that originally beat this Balrog and cast him into the fiery pits of Gorgoroth. So that's kind of interesting. These two have major beef. Gorgoroth chases us like a mindless puppy onto the open ice plains. I avoid his attacks, and this is kind of interesting because it really shows the power level difference between these two. In this situation, I feel like the Immortal, and the Balrog feels like Frag. But then Karnan re-enters the fight. I jump aboard and we start hitting Gorgoroth with some icy blasts. Until eventually he's weak enough for Karnan to tank the hit and drive him into the lake. Honestly, these Balrogs must be goddamn stupid. Karnan literally lured him to the perfect place. Like putting a Balrog into lava like he previously was, that's basically like a sort of lukewarm bath for him. But putting him into a frozen lake, Windhoff style, now that is death. Death via an icy tomb. While you're at it, Karnan, would you mind helping us take out Sauron, please? And also, could you help us reunite with Bagga the alchemist? Pretty please with a cherry on top. I decide to continue doing story missions to help Talion level up. I don't think I'm going to be able to find Bagga until I'm level 80 so that I can raid the best forts. Cause surely Bagga's going to be there. He's the strongest orc to have ever existed, right? I meet the little blonde girl from the city now known as Minas Morgul. Apparently the orcs are having a bit of a feast and we are going to ruin it by poisoning their grog barrels.
You understand that Baranor fears for me.
After all the barrels are now poisoned, this absolute legend of a captain comes out.
You kings of Mordor, and drink to job well done. Bronze gang is dead, and our good fortune becomes ours. So, drink, oh shrock!
After the pit gets hit with the poison, I summon in our poison master, Bagga the Green.
You want your goblets and crowns back, do you? Your little statues and trinkets? But what does this all mean? Your people are dead, and you'll never get them back.
That's really cool. I like the idea of all of the goblets across Mordor being from Minas Morgul. But to be honest, the goblet that he was holding didn't really look too fancy. If he's gonna have that dialogue, I feel like his goblet should have been silver and gold. But I suppose he is just a lowly captain. Why would he have the best goblet? Bagga the Green charges in and hits the pit with a massive fiery strike. But whenever he does this, fire begins to spread through the orcs, causing one of the poisoned grog barrels to explode, causing everyone to be downed and spreading fire and chaos throughout the battlefield. But thankfully, everybody was hit the same, so whenever I get back up, it's 3 versus 1. I actually really enjoyed the pit's dialogue, so I'd like to recruit him, but unfortunately he then becomes enraged. Which means he's got to go. I deal the final blow fencing style with a thrust straight into his back. The blonde girl from Minas Morgul, whose name I refuse to learn, completely destroys the previous dialogue that I'd said by showing a nice golden goblet.
That was one of our most successful missions, Gravewalker.
Really? We all almost died to a poison grog barrel exploding. Did you forget that? I honestly don't like her missions and I'm a bit sick of her. Can she hurry up and just leave Mordor, please? But thanks to that mission, I gained a new level and another skill point. We are one step closer to finding Bagga. Also everyone, I gotta say that the majority of you that watch these videos are not subscribed, so I guess consider subscribing if you like Shadow of War at all. You know, you might as well. Also, I guess hit the hype button if you're watching it on mobile. I don't really know what it does, but yeah, hype. Fantastic. Before leaving the area, I am not ambushed, but I just naturally come across this Olog.
I like it! Darkness comes. Many lie down to sleep. Some do not get up again.
He is the literal guardian of Mordor, so he must be good. Bagga becomes enraged by this and lands some big blows on him. I then move in and stab him in the gut.
Ranger does not kill Olog. Olog kill Ranger.
But he's a tank, so he has the very annoying trait of death defying, so he gets back up. One more execution blow and his health is down to half again. I then finish him off with several arrows to his face. Sorry Bagga, I'm in a very killing mood today. You're gonna have to work harder to get these kills yourself. I then head off to go and do one of the remaining Baranor missions, where slews of Gondorian soldiers have been taken captive and Baranor needs my help. So, partly because I'm a nice guy, I head on in there to save the Gondorians, but mostly because I want to level up. And of course I bring along Bagga the Green. I shoot this barrel to do a bit of crowd control, but the Gondorians are fine because they're tied to poles, which makes them immune to damage. Top tip for all of you guys out there. If there's a nuclear bomb going off, then just tie yourself to a pole, you'll be fine. Once I free the final lad,
Ready.
this scarred up captain shows
The
up.
difference between you and this one here. He can die. Of course, we don't all get what we want.
Honestly, Baranor, this is just embarrassing from you. I then get hit from behind and ambushed by the brain biter.
Your captain friend's gone. But don't worry, you'll all be reunited wherever it is that dead men go.
And whenever he stops yapping at me, I am very surprised to see that Baranor has been dragged off by that one orc grunt. So we're left with a 2v2. I freeze up the Fearless and then shatter him, hitting him on the floor again. I then destroy his forehead with arrows. Bagga then begins to take on the brain biter. Before I move in and steal the kill. Sorry Bagga, you're gonna have to try harder, lad. But also, what a great team we make. After that mission, it's then time to move to a new region, so I pack Bagga up. And we head back to the fiery plains of Gorgoroth. Would you believe it? Those orcs took Baranor all the way to Gorgoroth. That is just embarrassing from him. No wonder that he goes to Liflad after and tries to become more powerful, because right now he's getting dragged off by one orc. Pathetic, Baranor, pathetic. Do I even need to save you? Are you even worth it? No, he is, and actually his DLC is pretty good. I smash on into this fireplace because again, these Gondorians are immune to damage when they're on the pole. I charge out one of the captains that's defending Baranor and I hit him with an execution. My deadly knee takes off half his health.
Just don't give up, do you? It doesn't matter how many of these poor sods you save. Your time is over. All you humans. We're gonna teach you that lesson one corpse at a time.
And that's when the little blonde girl decides to show up with a battalion of Larrys. If you don't understand that Larry reference, then check out my full PlayStation playthrough.
Ranger! The look in your eyes. You still think you have a chance of getting out of here?
I focus on the Berserker while Bagga the Green focuses on the Flesh Rot. I then go and free Baranor so that he can get his own revenge. But honestly, they were taking a little bit too long, so I take matters into my own hands. After that scuffle and Baranor being kidnapped incredibly easily, these two finally decide to leave Mordor. Good riddance. I gain another level and another skill point. I respawn at the entrance to Gorgoroth. I've got a vendetta. I have an orc which killed me in the last video, the Corpse Eater. I think after what he did to me, ruining my fort raid like that, he needs to be put in the ground. But whenever I summon in my trusty Caragor mount, this happens.
You thought I was dead? Nah, I'm too mean to die, boss.
Bagga the Machine has come back to life. I knew he could come back. This orc was previously disgraced in the last video, dying in the pits when trying to infiltrate the fortress. I believe he's come back with a point to prove. He's come back with a purpose. We'll definitely be putting him to work later. As for now, I'm craving my revenge. I searched the outpost for the Corpse Eater, but he's very easy to find. He's in the middle of the courtyard, having a bit of a party around this barrel of grog. Gosh, it'd be a real shame if it exploded and all of your friends were lit up on fire in front of your eyes. Wouldn't it, Corpse Eater?
You know I always enjoy killing you, Ranger. But it's the quiet time afterwards that I look forward to the most.
Oh god, this guy has definitely eaten Talion's corpse. This is not good. I feel like he's maybe grown stronger from doing that as well, but this time, I'm fully charged up. We're not in a fortress. I've not been weakened by going through various layers of security. This is just a one-on-one, and he is already done. I shoot another barrel, lighting him on fire again, and then I hit him again with the flames. If this orc is gonna eat Talion's flesh, I am gonna burn him up. We are making this as painful as possible for him. I then hit him with the final blow, but it actually goes through his shield, hitting his hand. What a strange final kill shot that is. But either way, sweet revenge is mine. With my revenge now complete, it's time for Bagga the Machine to redeem himself in the pit fight arena. Last time he tried to infiltrate, he died, so hopefully he gets an easy opponent. Oh no.
I fight for Sauron, and I will gladly dedicate your death to him. Live long enough, and you will be renewed by steel. That is the message of the machine.
We've got a level 32 Olog against Bagga the Machine, who's only level 25. This might go badly. He immediately gets knocked off his Caragor. The half-tongue then runs up and hits him on the head, but he's able to counter it a little bit. He then begins to land a few combos of his own, until surprisingly the half-tongue is broken. He then darts behind him and goes in for the execution. Well done, Bagga the Machine. You are officially redeemed. Welcome back into the army of the green followers. I head over to the fortress to see how well it's defended. At the moment, I've got the Blood Axe assigned to raid and also Bagga the Itchy, one of the weirder Bagga variants. At the moment, I think it's too well defended. There are too many war chiefs. I think we need to thin down their numbers first. So I head over to the Ranmakrosh outpost to try and draw out the giant.
These Ologs are pillars of the war chief's forces. Topple them.
And to lure an Olog out that's named the giant, obviously you have to destroy his gym bros. I start by executing the first one I see, and then once the element of surprise is gone, I begin going crazy, shooting every barrel I can see. Lighting everyone on fire. That draws quite a lot of attention to me, which makes it easier for me to get rid of the remaining Ologs.
uncle lies dead. I tear off piece of you, jam it in your mouth, and make you choke on it.
Okay, he seems very mad that I've beat up his gym bros. Clearly startled by these words, the second I resume, I am hit by a random Olog, and then that Olog is hit by another one behind him. What the hell is going on?
This does not kill me.
Silly me to think that a stealth attack would kill him. But I mean, it did take off about half his health, so it was a pretty good attack. After shooting that barrel, the giant just sort of runs around on fire for a little bit. Bloodlusted, Bagga then moves in to try and get the kill. But I quickly dive over. I do not want to kill this guy. We need all the orcs that we can get inside this fortress, so I'm gonna recruit him. With the giant now on our side, I mark another captain for us to go after, the Glory Hunter. I track him down to the outpost, Borzum. Interesting. To lure him out, I've got to take out a lot of his grunts. Initially, I was planning on going for a bit of a stealthy route with this mission, but whenever I cut back to Talion, every single orc seems to know where I am. I also got hit with some throwing axes, which took off a lot of my health. I summon in Bagga Jr. to help me take out the rest of these orcs. And that's when this guy shows up.
Bloody blood! Bloody blood!
I actually really like this blood orc. I think I'm building a bit of a theme in this team. Obviously, the original theme was all of the different Bagga variants, but now that we have the blood axe, and we might get this blood orc right here, maybe we have a bit of a blood theme. Maybe if I start recruiting only blood orcs, they'll eventually have a bit of a civil war with the Bagga variants. All of them fighting for Talion's love and approval. Luckily, I'm able to grab the blood before Bagga tries to kill him. I tell him that if he joins my forces, he'll get much, much more. So obviously, he decides to join. With the blood now gone, I finish off the remaining orcs, and that leads to the Glory Hunter arriving. Just look at this beautiful Olog.
Our trespassing friend is fleet of foot and quick of blade. Let us find him and shatter both.
Nah, honestly, mate, please don't shatter my sword. I just got this one. The last one was broken, alright? Just leave me alone. To stop him from breaking my blade, I shoot the barrel, igniting him in flames, and I am very glad to see that he is not flameproof. I summon in the green. And then he reveals this to me.
I know you've planted a spy. We're going to find him, and we're going to kill him. But first things first.
What? They know about my spy? Bagga the Machine, you have failed me again. Bagga the Machine fought in the pits to become a spy, and they've apparently caught a spy. No, not my Bagga the Machine. To silence these troubling thoughts, I put an arrow straight into the Glory Hunter's skull. We have to raid this fortress before they have a chance to find Bagga the Machine. I jump aboard my Caragor and ride to the fort, but am I quick enough? Will I be able to get there in time before they do anything to Bagga the Machine? God only knows what they would do to him if they caught him. I jump off the Caragor and quickly call the war banners. Today we take Gorgoroth. And that's when Hoshgris comes out and reveals the spy they've captured. Who is that? That's not him.
I found a plump little rat. Here's a free lesson for you.
I'm gonna teach you how to fly!
Oh no! You're my spy! My beautiful old man spy! What have you done to him?
Your army marches upon us! Hundreds of warriors, lined in neat rows. And so it shall be when you are all hung on hooks, waiting to be butchered! Blood is blood! Blood is blood! Blood is blood!
When the Bright Lord marches on a fort, that fort gets conquered. It was true at Sark Moors, and it's just as true here.
Ah, Bagga the Machine, you crafty bastard. Let's get in there so I can reunite with him. I start by blowing up the 2 siege beasts, and I really wish there was a faster way to do this. Is there? Let me know in the comments. And do you guys usually destroy them, or do you just wander on past? I then jump on the Wargrog, and after a little bit of me missing the front gate, we finally knock it down. And we quickly take the first point because there's no one defending it. We had already taken them out earlier.
Push forward.
While I'm heading to the next point, I notice that one of my lads is down outside the gate. I'm not gonna let another one of my lads bleed out during a fort raid. Especially not the blood, after he delivered that amazing speech. Back aboard the Wargrog, I head to the next point and it's undefended yet again. We have cleared out this fortress. I noticed that another one of my captains is down for the second time, so I think I'm just gonna leave him. These orcs are lucky at all if I even try to help them. I take the point right when his bleed out counter hits 0 and he doesn't even get a kill screen. Heading over to the third point and there is still no resistance. Wow, we have really done a number here. They must be saving all of the horrible war chiefs and captains for the inner gates. After taking this point, I head on over to the fourth point. And finally, we meet some resistance. One of my orcs even gets automatically downed, just seeing the aura of this war chief. I then have a word with him and I find out why his aura is so strong. It's because of his crazy name.
My boys will catch hell for giving you a foothold after all this is done. But first, we're gonna slaughter you and your rebel army.
Rash the Rash. I don't think I've ever seen an orc name like this before. I need him on my team, but this domination has taken a very, very long time. But finally, after 5 hours, I'm able to shame him down. I'll try and recruit you later, Rash the Rash. While I'm taking the point, I then realize that the Blood Axe is doing a little bit of friendly fire, a little bit of team killing. But I can't really get mad at them because orcs will be orcs. I jump on the Graug again and break down the inner gate. And by the time I've finished destroying the remaining siege beasts, the point is ready to be taken. With the final point now taken, all that's left is for us to encircle this one remaining war chief. Originally, I was gonna let one of my boys finish him off, but they were honestly taking too long. So I moved in there, shot the barrel, hit him with a fire elven light, and then finished him off with my glaive attack. With the fortress now conquered and all of the captains dead, I head on into the throne room to finally face this Overlord. And look at that, you can see that my lad is waiting for me. Just waiting to strike like a coiled snake.
Welcome, Manly. I'm having a feast in your honor and picking my teeth with your bones.
Nice dialogue there. Let's see if Talion has a good rebuttal.
You'll be picking them with my steel. Open wide.
Oh, that's classic Talion right there, bringing the heat. He's a man of few words, but they're good ones. The Overlord begins to aura farm by walking slowly towards me, but that's when Bagga the Machine activates, my sleeper agent. I also summon in Bagga the Alchemist, but then I'm downed by his first arrow. If he had no chance right now, this would be over. I gotta be more careful, I can't stay still for a single second against this Overlord. He then hits me again! Bagga the Machine, for the love of God, do something! Thankfully, I'm able to deflect the arrow. I then close the distance massively, trying to take away his long-range sniper advantage. I begin to feel quite confident now that we're up close. I begin hitting him with my glaive attack. I then dive over him, and disaster strikes. I didn't notice how weak I was, and I dive right over his head into a massive group of orcs, and all it takes is one hit. And because I'd already been downed by the 2 sniper shots early in the throne room, a random grunt is able to claim a promotion.
That's what they say about pink skins, you know. They don't fight so well, but the scraps are great for decorating your fort.
Oh no. I think this means he's going to put up Talion decorations for whenever we go back to the throne room. What even would that be? Let me know in the comments, guys. How would you decorate with Talion's corpse? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Leave a big fat comment down below. What would you do with Talion's corpse? Would you put it on a Christmas tree? What would you do with it, lads? This might be one of the more unhinged call to actions that I've ever done in a video. But thankfully, during our fort raid, we devastated the fortress and all of the orcs inside it. So once Talion respawns, he's able to just walk straight back into the throne room. The Blood Drinker had no time to set up any more defenses. And the dialogue he uses is absolutely perfect for this situation.
What is this? A ghost come back to haunt me? Well, I ain't scared of ghosts.
This time I don't mess around and I fire arrow after arrow into the Blood Drinker before he can even line up a shot. I fire an Elven Blast to try and keep some of the grunts at bay. I do not want to make another captain. I am not handing out any more promotions. While I grab more arrows, I summon in Bagga Jr., Bagga the Green. I then charge towards the Blood Drinker, periodically hitting him with arrows. I don't want him to get off a single shot. Once I'm in close, I start landing blows and I keep using the Elven Light to keep the grunts at bay. He then does something which catches me off guard. He switches to melee. And of course, with my weakened Talion, one hit is enough to down him. But after I get back up, I waste no time in destroying him with an execution, an arrow to the head. And from this point on, he is defeated. But I don't want to shame him. I want him dead to rights. I want him destroyed for all the time that he's wasted, with me and my Baggas trying to take the fort. Do you have any idea how many beautiful Bagga variants I've wasted against your walls? I hit him with another fiery Elven Light, and then he crumbles to the ground right at Bagga the Green's feet.
I knew it'd work!
Talion delivers his epic speech.
If you listen, you can hear the thunder of our enemies' feet as they flee!
And we successfully take over and conquer the region. In terms of Overlord, I can think of no one better than Bagga the Machine. I would make it Bagga the Green, Bagga the Alchemist, but he's busy. I've got many more forts that I need to conquer, and I'm gonna need his help. And also, Bagga the Machine has had a bit of a redemption arc so far, dying in the pits, coming back to life, winning in the pits finally, and then becoming the bodyguard. Although I'll be honest, in the throne room he didn't really do very much. He sort of just watched me die. But either way, maybe he'll make a good Overlord. Here's what's coming up in the next episode of The Hunt for Bagga.
You were foolish to think you could hold a fortress in Mordor.